Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to Court Farms Country Park, and this is episode 49 of the Let's Play series. I hope you're all doing very well and having a good day. So what's going down today? Well, we're pretty much at the same time where the last episode left off from. We're on the first day of October, and what we have got going down today is I've taken on a cultivation contract that, strangely enough, is in the same field we did the harvest in last episode, and it is paying just shy of 9,800 quid, so that's an absolute no-brainer again from my side of things. Almost 10 grand for a couple of hours work. Got to take that on. So we're going to be doing that very shortly. But before I do that, I've just been obviously coming into the game and figuring out what I'm going to do in this episode. I was having a bit of a whiz around, and I noticed my, quite frankly, ridiculous pile of manure that we have going on over here in the bunker. And I figured, you know what? That potentially could be a large pile of money. A relatively smelly pile of money nonetheless, but a pile of money. Because the cows produce the stuff consistently, there's no point in me hanging on to it just in case. I know it could be very handy for fertilizing contracts, but also at the same time the slurry is also very useful for that as well. Presently what we're looking at here is 451,264 litres of manure, and I think we've got about 300,000 litres of slurry as well. So as I say, when it comes to fertilizing contracts, the slurry is very handy for that. This stuff I think I'm just going to sell. It's equates to, I think, around just shy of 15 grand. So I may as well get gone with it, haven't I? May as well get it gone, sell it to the BGA. It's always going to be being produced, isn't it? So it's not like it's the last I'm ever going to see of it. So I think that would be slightly beneficial, because I think we're roughly just over £38,000 in the bank at the minute. So yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. So I think what I'm going to do firstly is we're going to jump in a tractor, we're going to hitch up a trailer, and we are going to go back and two for quite a few trips to the BGA and get rid of all that manure. And then we will crack on with the cultivating contract. It's in field 46. I think that's the number, the one we did the harvest in the last episode. So yeah, we're going to crack on with that afterwards as well, and go from there. One thing I did want to touch base on relatively quickly was, again, I mentioned it in the last episode, I think it was, where there was even a remote consideration that I might consider upgrading the combine harvester. It was something that that's been put to me a couple of times over the previous episodes regarding my combine, and just suggestions, would I not consider upgrading it, replacing it with something nice and shiny and new. And I have been giving it some thought, but the reality is I don't think I need to, because of the limitations of the map size wise, because of the size of the lanes, the gate posts, the gate entrances, so to speak. There are huge limitations on what combine you can have. I'd love to just go out and spend £500,000 quid on a gigantic Lexion or anything like that, but it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't fit. The headers are too big. Of course you can fit a small header to it, of course, but that would look slightly ridiculous, and it is a bit overkill. So there is, limitations as to what combine harvester that would be, practical on this map. One suggestion that was put to me was the John Deere T560, which I did take a good look at, but the reality is it's almost the same usage-wise as the one I've got here, is the Dominator. It has a capacity of 10,000 litres, as does this. The headers are pretty much exactly the same. I think the base game header that is combined with the T560 is, the game says it's 7.6 metres wide. Mine is 7.7, and the corn headers that go with that harvester are also exactly the same size, 6 metres wide. So the only difference is that particular one, the John Deere T560, is £285,000. So it would require a massive investment of money to replace the harvester, to find that I've got exactly the same capacity and almost exactly the same size of headers. And obviously both the headers would need to be purchased as well if I'm going to be able to run corn and a grain header. So in my mind, it doesn't make any sense to do it, just because of the amount of money it's going to cost me to do it, and there would be essentially no benefit whatsoever. If the capacity was twice as much or a huge amount more, you know, maybe it could be a consideration, because I can get the jobs done quicker, essentially. I can, you know, I can get the hopper filled with more grain before needing to be emptied. But as I say, it just seems nonsensical to me anyway. So I think for now I'm just going to stick with this one, because it's a beast. It really is. It does the job perfectly well. And as I say, the only other, I did have a look at other ones. The main criteria I'm considering is the size of the thing, the width of the thing, and will it work on the map. There's obviously the first couple of ones. There's the Rostelmash, which is about 75 grand, but that has a smaller capacity. There's a New Holland, the yellow one, is it the CR90, I think, or something like that. That actually looks, whether I'm wrong or not, I don't know, but that actually looks like it's slightly wider than the Dominator here and the T560. And there is also the Claas Trion, which is a beautiful looking thing. I would love that. It's got the tracks on the front, but that's north of 300,000 quid, 350 grand, I think it is. So that's an even bigger investment. Yes, I know it'd look amazing. I'd love it. You know, it would look cool to have that lovely thing. But at the minute, with 38 grand in the bank, it's just something I can't do. So, anyway, sorry, long waffle over. For now, unless that thing catches fire and burns to the ground, that's my harvester, and I'm just going to have to stick with it for now. So anyway, right. What's going on? Right, I'm going to jump in the Renault. We're going to use this tractor for the first few hours of this episode. We're going to hitch up the trailer, and we're going to ferry back into the BGA, selling our manure. As I say, we should earn just shy of 15 grand from it all. So I may as well. It makes sense to me now, because there's no point holding on to it. May as well get a few pounds for it. It's always going to be being produced, isn't it? So it's not like I'm never going to see it again. So I think I'm going to combine these many trips back into a bit of a cinematic. See what I can make of all that. So we'll get cracking with this, and I'll join you back up in a wee while when it's all gone, hopefully. This ridiculous pile will have gone by then. Right. Cover off. Fill up. There we go. Right. See you shortly. Right, back at the farm. So that was a bit more complex than I initially realised it was going to be, purely because I hadn't factored in the minute quantity of manure that the BGA over there can take at any one time. So whilst making the cinematic there, I think it did the first trailer just fine, and then when I got back to it with the second trailer, it sat there, it emptied like 1% of it and sat there for a while, and I was like, oh, whoops. And then I figured 400 odd thousand litres of manure with a trailer with a capacity of about 16,000 litres, this is going to take about a week and a half to do this job. So what I actually just had to do there, I had to do a bit of mucking around, no pun intended, bit of fabrication. So what I essentially did is I made sure, I hope that the cinematic I just cobbled together has come out okay, and that it looks like everything went as it was planned to go. But yeah, essentially I had to just manually empty the trailer every time it got to the BGA using EasyDev, and I made sure that I'd done my sums correctly, and that £14,440 was pretty much the exact amount of money we were going to get for our pile of manure based on the prices that the BGA was offering. So I essentially just deleted the manure essentially and added the money into my bank account once I'd made sure I had the footage together to make some kind of cinematic. So yeah, there's always a way around everything, isn't there? But essentially what we've done now is we have no manure left in the bunker. We do still have the 10,000 litres here left in a lump here. I will get that cleaned up for the sake of making it look as it should at some point very soon. But we are now at it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. With it being October, the daylight won't last very long anymore. So we're going to get cracking with the field cultivation contract that we've got going on. Let's jump in this. We're going to need to use the fence, obviously, for the cultivator, because it's just too heavy for anything else. So we'll park this up, we'll jump in the fence, we'll hook up the cultivator, and get that job done. Now, yes, I can go to sleep till the 2nd day of October and still not lose out on the contract, but I'd rather get it done today if that's if I've got any control over it, because the weather has given rain for tomorrow. So we'll have to play that by ear, because the other thing we do have to do, our grass field just over there is ready to cut, so I don't want to be doing that while it's raining, obviously, because I want the grass to be dry, because we need to ted it, and we need to row it and bale it up for our hay bales. And here we are at the new shed. I haven't actually done any major alterations since the last episode, and I was going to do a little bit more landscaping, and I was going to sort out the auto drive network, but as of yet I still haven't done that. And there we go, cables. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Lift up and fold up. Awesome. Right, so let's go earn a bit more money. After the manure selling, we're now sat at 53,207 quid, which is excellent. And as I say, this is going to be paying pretty much around £9,800, so that's excellent too. So let's get ourselves over to the field. Field 46, I think it is. The one we did the harvesting in the last episode. Let's get ourselves there and get cracking. Right, job done. Back on the farm now. Awesome work. Just earned almost £10,000, which is exactly what we want. Perfect end to a perfect day, it feels. So let's get this thing stowed away nicely in our lovely new workshop. Now we've got to unfold this one before we drop it down, haven't we? So let's just check we can squeeze it between these two here again. No, that'll do. That will do. Right. There we go. Okay, so it's pretty much the end of the day now. There's not a huge amount we're going to get done, if anything, at this time of day. But, as always, I've just been having a little bit of a ponder as I've been working that field. Now, onwards from the bit of waffle I was going on about earlier about the combine harvester and upgrading that. Now, as I said, personally I feel there's not much point in me upgrading the combine because, as I said, anything that's of the similar size and whatnot is way too expensive, and it's essentially, as far as I'm concerned, a little bit unnecessary. But thinking about improving in any way our harvesting capabilities, the one thing I could do with upgrading and making bigger is that. Now, it's a great trailer, it's a beautiful thing, it's part of the Richard Western pack, and I think it's one of the smallest ones, if not the smallest one that comes in that pack. There is an SF16 and an SF18 as well. So, you can see where I'm going with this, can't you? This has a capacity of just over 16,000, and the SF18 has a capacity of, I think it's just north of 22. So, with that in mind, and they're pretty well priced, they're reasonably priced as well. I think it's just north of £22,500 for the bigger one. So, I'm thinking I might go for that, because but I'm also going to keep this one. I'm not going to get rid of this one, purely because of the corn harvesting, foraging that we may well crack on with in several months' time when we've planted the corn and waited for it to grow, etc. As I say, in my mind anyway, because we did that cornfield a while ago and we picked it up with a forage harvester and turned it into silage here in the bunker, it's all going to be down to how empty this bunker is. Oh, this is... the covers come right back here. I'm sure when I first opened it, it came to about here. Oh well. Not that it matters. Yeah, so I'm assuming this isn't going to be particularly empty by the time we come to doing more corn. But essentially my point is, if I get myself another trailer, because you can never have enough trailers, can you, let's be honest. If I do get down to the fact that I'm going to I'll forage another cornfield for myself to turn into silage, essentially the point I'm trying to make is I will try and run 2 tractors, at the risk of tying myself in all sorts of tractor and trailer shaped knots while running the forage harvester and 2 tractors and trailers on course plane auto drive. I'm thinking I might give it a go, and I'd like to get hold of a bigger trailer anyway, so that's what I think I might do. I can't do it now because it's the end of the day, so I think what we will do, we'll put the tractors away, get everything tidied up, and we'll have a snooze for the night, and I'll pick you back up in the morning. Right, morning all. No, it's not the middle of the night. Just gone 7 o'clock. It's just a very dark morning. So, just topping up the cows with some straw. They've still got half a trough's worth of food at the minute, so they'll manage for now with that. A couple of straw bales will see them through for the rest of the day, I'm sure. So we'll top these guys up, but as I said, I think I am going to consider getting myself another trailer. There we go, let's start getting that straw tipped into there. Let's step away from the noise for a minute, shall we? There we go, that'll do. So, let's jump into the shop menu. Have a bit of a scroll through to our Richard Weston trailer. Because I know there's a whole load of other trailers available, I get that. But I am going to stick with the Richard Weston ones. Now, actually thinking about it, forgive me, I had just had a bit of a brain fart there. Because talking about the corn silaging, I've got that, haven't I? So I may still run 2 trailers. I'm only going to keep one silage trailer for now because I know we do more work with normal trailers, but I'm going to get another one anyway. I'm going to get a bigger one, even if it's just a case of increasing the trailer capacity for just my average harvesting. I've still got a bigger trailer then, haven't I? So where are we? So I'm going to stick with the Richard Weston ones because I think they're absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's the SF18 here, so that's 22,720 litres. And the one we currently have is this one, 16,850. So yeah, about 5,000 litres more capacity. That's pretty decent. So I reckon we'll go with some BKTs. I always like the BKTs. Keeping with that. We want the white decal. We do want a cover. And I want to go with the Richard Weston grey colour this time. We've got the yellow one. Let's have a grey one. I think the rims can stay. What's mid-grey look like? No, we'll stick with silver. License plate wise, I think this time we'll leave it with no plate for now. I'll sort that. I'll do something with the number plate off camera. But yeah, there we go. So what's that? 25,274 quid. We're currently sat at 75,749. You'll have to forgive me. I forgot to turn in the contract, didn't I, in one of the last clips. So we got just under 10 grand for that one, as you know. And when we woke up this morning, we got it was about £14,500 for the milk. We got about 350 quid from the campsite. So yeah, we're doing all right. Just under 76,000. So let's go for that. Boom. Lovely stuff. Big trailer. Excellent. Right. So the cows look like they're all topped up with straw now. Delivery costs. Oh. Oh. There it is. I was expecting to take a trip down to the shop to go and pick it up. I'd forgotten that I hadn't, for some reason, I had my store deliveries mod set to here. That was a bit strange. I don't remember doing that. Either way, that saved us a trip. There we go. Awesome. Right, let's get the mech fibre put away for now and the Ford. I'll see you in a few minutes. Right. There we go. New trailer parked up where it belongs for now. Awesome thing, that, don't you think? Really quite happy with that purchase. I'd forgotten how cheap they were. Pretty affordable. So, anyway, right, let's get this thing out of the way. So I think, even though we've not done a huge amount today, I think I'm going to call it here for today's episode, because we've still got the grass to mow in front of us there behind the workshop. There we go. And I think I'm going to start that in the beginning of the next episode. Get the grass mown round here, get it tedded, rowed, baled up, and loaded up into the shed. This little area here. All the other fields are doing very well growth-wise. They're all exactly as we expect them to be. The oilseed radish is. It says it's ready to harvest on the field PDA, so I'm hoping it doesn't wither or anything like that. I do hope it doesn't do that, actually, because the whole intention of doing it is obviously to fertilise the field ready for the drilling in April next year. Although thinking about it, I suppose that is something I could do now, because nothing's going to alter the field state, is it? If I was to cultivate this under, get the field to increase the fertilisation levels of the field, then it will still technically stay in that state until I do something with it, won't it? Because there shouldn't be any weeds growing if we, although saying that, I've never done it before, I've never so if I cultivate this under, is that going to promote the game to then give me a weed growing state? I'm not too sure. Any of you out there who have experience with oilseed radish, if you have done this before, if you've got any hints or tips for me, let me know. I'm hoping it should just be as simple as, just like I say, just cultivate it under and job. Then I can just leave the field in that present state until drilling time, but we shall see. We shall see. So, like I said, I think I'm going to knock it in the head for today's episode. I think we are knocking on the door of about half an hour or so, just maybe more. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do hope you've enjoyed the video and found it a little bit fun and interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel, you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the channel. Giving the video a like if you can, if you have liked it, of course. And if any of you are in the market for a DLC, a season pass, an add-on, or even the full game of itself, and you fancy helping out a content creator at the same time with that purchase, I would be massively appreciative, as there will be a host of links in the video description below with my promo code. So, thanks again, everyone. Thanks for your time. I shall see you in episode 50.